Well, 2021 red deer rut. Gee, put in a couple of extra days, an extra day and a half this year than what I normally do. Yeah, really difficult in actually just finding any deer this year on the property I'm on. Plenty of noise all the way around, which is typical for this sort of area. But normally there's a lot more hinds in the area drawing the stags in and getting them to hold day after day after day, right? And I've been scaring every square inch of 1200 acres, really full-on terrain, rugged, steep, full of gullies, full of all the rest of it, long grass, heap of wallabies, a few cattle that are in areas that didn't used to run in there, that run there these days, which I think has sort of changed a bit of the dynamics about the way the herds hang around this block now. And yeah, last day really, I was going to go and do another half a day on a property next door where I'm allowed to hunt over the long weekend. I'm not allowed to hunt this property over the long weekend due to just Easter, and if they know people are poaching, then they can just go and check it out straight away. This is literally my last hunt for this property for the year, for the red rut. And I just came over and checked the western side of this property, section I never normally hunt during the rut. And like I said, I've been scaring every little section. Found a really nice old deer on the northern end of the property yesterday. Put a bit of a stalk in on him and his big girl, but it was really tricky. The wind was not right. Just typical for the old deer, they know where to hang out. So I didn't get to capitalise on that. Here was a big two-pointer, similar to this, weird looking head. So many of these things around here. I'm so glad I got to take this one out because he's older than I realised really. Eyes protruding, biggest coronets I've shot on a red stag, thickest bases, and yeah, it looks like he's possibly going backwards in the brow section, but yeah, I'm no cull expert. But yeah. So yeah, this year shooting the Cayuga Pilot Cut Gen 2 variety. Oh man, these things sharpen up so well, hold their edge for many months. It is ridiculous, and still feels pretty sharp at the moment. Perfect double lung shot. Had him travel 100 meters or something, constantly dripping lung blood the whole way. And to actually get this stag, I heard him roar a couple of times. I thought he must have been maybe a 2-year-old that I'd seen coming, sort of heading in this direction on my first walk in one of the afternoons. He had a couple of hinds with him, so I thought, I haven't seen those hinds and that little stag around, so I better check this area. And the way the wind is coming today, I knew I just can't take the chance at not having a go at this section of the property. You always have to pay attention to where the wind is travelling and where the wind is not in the deer's ears. That's where they love to hang out. And yeah, I followed this fella, started stalking, and come across a hind and a yearling. So I had to change my game plan back a little bit. But this fella just kept moving and moving and moving. I knew I could not muck around. I had to change my plan, gain elevation so I could get around the hind and the yearling. And I just kept following in the general direction where I thought this fella was. And sometimes it sounds like he was closer. Sometimes I thought I was looking for a deer on a total different property. Way away. Amazing how they can throw their sound. It is just incredible. and he really sounded like a young deer. No grunting, just a bit of nice calling every now and then, nothing aggressive, just trying to get attention to whatever the hell could have been around. And as I was when I was almost about to get a visual on him, I thought he was actually heading up this hill here, the way he was throwing his sound around. And all of a sudden he was right below me, 60, 70 odd meters. And he started backtracking back the other way because he was coming out into the open. So I let him trot off a little bit more, doing his roaring and whatnot, and I waited for him to stop, and I let out a few calls, hind calls. And he roared back, and I could see he was heading my direction. So I quickly got myself set up with an arrow on the string, release aid ready, tucked into the lantana slightly, and thought he would come straight towards me, but he was definitely sussing out, and he let out another small roar. I did another hind call, and I probably should have drawn back a bit earlier. I let him come up towards me. He would have been within 10 meters. Piece of cake. I could have thrown a piece of toilet paper at him. And he did the usual stuff. Did the little bolt off, and I did a hind call as I drew back. A nice big hind call. And he turned around and looked straight back at me, sort of facing uphill slightly quartering on. And I used the option 4 sight, just kept the multi-pin section ready, used the 30-meter pin, and just followed through with the shot really nicely. Felt really good, just hit him beautifully and just blew straight through. And yeah, this is the end result. I'm so happy. I've been having a pretty hard year this year on the deer, I must admit, and even on my second day I was wondering what the hell am I actually doing out here, but that's all a part of bow hunting red deer, any type of deer really, even if it is the rut and you think it's going to be a bit easier than it could be. You just got to keep trying, and my feet were killing me yesterday, so I had to just can my afternoon hunt because I knew if I wanted to hunt again today, I would have had to rest my feet properly. So I went and did a bit of fishing, caught a couple of small perch with some grasshoppers on a hook. That was pretty cool. First time I'd done that for a long time because the creek is flowing beautifully this year. And yeah, still shooting my Elite Impulse 31 with the equivalizer setup, 65 pounds maxed out. Continuing with the Carter Wise Choice again this year. Absolutely love this release aid, it's so good. And actually a new little addition to my bow this year is a Bowmar archery nose button, sorry. Still using the total peep sight from the last few years, just a newer variety. And yeah, got a 4 vein setup this year, probably go back to a 3 vein. And yeah, I'm absolutely stoked with how it's all turned out. The sun's coming over to where we are. I pulled him down into the shade so we had a bit of time to set up, and yeah, time to get dirty and get some meat out of this fella. Give it to the owners for their cattle dogs. They absolutely love it for their dogs. They don't eat it themselves. And I will take a good portion. I absolutely love the neck meat for jerky. Love the back straps like everybody else. And yeah, thank you Desiree for letting me come out. Put some solid time into the bush this year. Couldn't have done it without your support. Awesome. 2021, red rut down. Nice stag. I can't wait to get him aged. I'll have a look at his teeth soon, but I think he's a good fella. Alright, peace out.